We had Chris Bliley on the case for this one, and it feels like a lot of energy going for Monroeville right now. They've got the good vibes going, don't they?
Pretty good 48 hours for the Eagles. The Lady Eagles win last night and
That's
play at 4
right.
p.m. tomorrow. And the boys today, started off slow, fell behind, but shut them out in the second half and outscored the Hornets 20-0. And take a look at the highlights here. This is a crazy start. Here's Monroeville taking the field. There's no time on the clock. Monroeville's waiting to kick, and with no time on the clock, the Hornets get out there late, but it didn't cost them. They got off to an early lead as it was Julius Gore, 6 foot, 205-pound running back, going in from 1 yard out. They would complete the 2-point conversion and lead it 8-0. But here was the man of the day. It was Cooper Cleary. His sister McKenna would make him cinnamon sconces today, and whatever it was, she is making cinnamon sconces next Friday. 75 yards to pay dirt. That would cut the lead to 8-7. Here we would have Monroeville, a throwback play, and the big man, Darnell Jackson, 5'9", 225, rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling all the way 60 yards for the defensive score. A little dance there at the end, and Malvern would have their last lead at 14-7. Colton Clark, who was battling through injuries the last 2 weeks, played his normal Warrior-style game. He would score from the 1, and we were tied at 14. Here, Cleary would get his second touchdown. This one coming in the third quarter, and Monroeville would take their first lead, actually in the fourth quarter, 21-14. Cleary, for good measure, this time goes in from 29 yards out, his third touchdown. He would end up with 224 yards and 3 tutties on the day. You'll certainly see him as up for our player of the week. And then to round out the scoring, Connor Boris would go in from 1 yard out, and the Eagles would end up winning it. And then just to finish off a great night, Cooper Cleary steps in front of a pass there with just 35 seconds. So again, those 224 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Cooper Cleary was our Underground Utilities MVP tonight, and it was well-deserving.
Tell me about the atmosphere out there. Obviously, Marshfield, a little bit of an upgrade and all that, Chris, and then people are all buzzing just around that community in general, like you said, because they're going to be playing for a state championship on the volleyball floor tomorrow. But just what was it like out there within the bleachers and then everything around it?
Well, I can't tell you much about the pregame, but I can tell you Peens was jumping in the postgame as I was there with some of the parents. I do want you to know, Brian, that a couple parents approached me at the postgame party and told me that the She Shed is now trending. They were asking me if I'll be shooting tonight's episode from the She Shed, but I told them I probably would not.
Yeah, hashtag She Shed. And where is it? Why are we in the house tonight?
Well, the wife was out in the She Shed, and she wanted me to be quiet while she was watching a movie. So,
okay. Well, we'll keep it down. We did bring up this is a cinnamon. It's called a scone, unless
scone.
Yeah. It's a kind of a fancy baked item.
His sister actually told me it was called a scone, but I think it's spelled like sconce.
Whatever it is, it fueled the Eagles to a big victory, and now they're in the Final Four of their region. Chris, let's take a look at Region 25, and what tough tests coming up for them here next week. They're going to have to go away from Marshfield and take on an undefeated McDonald team coming up here this next week. On the other side, Mogador, a team that, such tradition out there, and then East Canton, the Wizards. Ooh, I love that. That's who is in the semifinals right now. So give me just kind of your initial thoughts without studying too much on McDonald, who was a 28-13 winner over JFK, who you saw last week, and what the Eagles can bring against a team that was able to be the #1 seed in Region 25.
Well, I really think, and when I saw this bracket, if we have a healthy Colton Clark, I think Monroeville goes into McDonald and beats the 1 seed next week. I don't think there's a big difference between the two teams. When we covered Norwalk St. Paul and Warren JFK last week, they were saying they thought Warren JFK could pull the upset over McDonald. So I don't think there was a lot of difference between 1 and 8. East Canton, who has to play Mogador, they were second in the conference that Malvern was in. So, I think they're very on par with Malvern, who basically Monroeville handled after the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I'm checking it out right now here too. I see the Western Reserve went down tonight. I see 42-6. I got a couple of text messages today just saying that they thought that they really had a good chance, and then Hopewell Loudon might just be a different creature entirely. But you were kind of our Firelands Conference guy, so just one team standing here, and it looks like it's going to be the Eagles, and we're giving them a pretty good shot in that regional championship game.
I've got one more shout out. Obviously, I'm shouting out to Lady Eagle volleyball team and Coach Nestor and the football team. But I got to shout out Ben Paul. We had no internet at 7 p.m. at kickoff. Ben gets on the phone, dials up a couple numbers, and midway through the second quarter, we had internet. And thank God we were able to get off my hotspot and bring a good second half to the viewers that were out there. So if you were watching, my apologies. But Ben Paul, you were the man for getting that internet in the second half.